Alright, we are now on the next row of characters for our grid. Starting over with Orbulon and his IQ games. Good day, Earthling. I am Orbulon. My games will test your cranial capacity, for I am clever by human standards. Yes, my IQ is 300. I have been lenient in my time limits to give you lesser beings a chance of success.
Okay, there's a lot there that we need to...
Yeah, first off, he's still an asshole.
There's a
First
lot we need
game.
to... Okay, yeah.
Praise or Haze II. Choose the word that most resembles the example. Pick a word.
Wait, Praise or Haze 2? We haven't seen one yet.
There isn't a one. So here you've got, it gives you an instruction, either praise or haze. And it's either pick the one it matches it. Praise, you pick the one that's a good word, that's a compliment. If it says haze, you pick the one that's the bad word, that's an insult.
Okay.
And it has this whole thing, this game is, and it tells you to praise, so you pick excellent. And there's one out of the choices is the one that matches the instruction. On level 1, there are 3 choices, on level 2, there are 4 choices, and on level 3, there are 5 choices. And it has a variety of different things that it will ask you to praise or haze, like this game, or you, or one of the characters.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't really matter which, because it's...
It doesn't at all, you just pick the word. Now, Orbulon's games all have, as he says, the increased time limit, which means we are going to be fast-forwarding through a lot of the... what the me going through and clearing stuff, because otherwise this would take literally twice as long as any of the other grid sections, because it gives you, like, I'm not sure if it's actually gives you twice as much time, but that's how long the video ended up being. The footage for when I cleared his grid was twice as long as anyone else's.
Well, okay then.
So, anyway, Orbulon. So, in addition to the little thing he said there in his intro there, we've got in the manual, his blurb. Orbulon, the intelligent life form, is his subtitle. And his little blurb here. Hello, I am the outer space life form known as Orbulon. It might be hard to believe, but my carbon matter will turn 2,000 years old this year. My fun units test the limits of your brain matter with challenging IQ games. You know, my propulsion transport device crashed into Wario's house on a previous visit. Since then, he allows me to crash there whenever I want.
Okay.
So, that's clear here how Orbulon and Wario met. Orbulon crashed into Wario's house. And then Wario, I think, is blackmailing him into doing this work for him? Probably? Like, he says Wario allows him to crash there whenever he wants, but...
Codebuster.
Next game, yeah, Codebuster. Follow the instructions and press the buttons as indicated, Earthling. Directions and A to enter.
Okay.
This game, it gives you an instruction. Do the instruction.
Oh.
The different difficulty levels are, each difficulty level has a different set of possible instructions, and they get, more complex as the higher difficulties.
Oh.
So, it's some combination of pressing or holding different buttons different numbers of times. So I guess this is the level 3.
Kind of
Enter like a cheat code kind of thing.
Yeah.
The Konami code is, in fact, literally one of the things here. It's one of the level 3 possibilities.
That's,
Yeah.
not sure they...
I mean...
I'm not sure they can't do that.
Can't copyright a sequence of buttons. Really? Anyway, the only one of these that I really found particularly tricky, especially later on, is... Well, there's after pressing A 5 times, push left, and there's another that's after pressing A, 8 times? Yeah, there you go, Konami code. So, yeah, there's one that involves pressing A 8 times, and that is just like, when it gets very fast, counting a button press out 8 times exactly, and then doing something else, yeah. If you do any button input that isn't following the instructions exactly, then it's a failure. So, you know, if you're not holding a thing, or if you start holding a thing when you're supposed to press it, or, you know, various, whatever, any way that you can screw it up, it's a fail. So Orbulon crashes into Wario's house, and he says that then Wario allows him to crash whenever he wants. Which, I think perhaps Wario is tricking him to saying, yeah, you can crash into my house. I will charge you much less for this privilege than anyone else will. That is what I would imagine Wario saying.
You can provide me with only minimal amounts of future tech. Such as the ability to enter radios and laptops.
Wario doesn't need future technology to do that. That's his Fey Imp magics. I don't think there's that much else to say about Orbulon and his relationship with Wario. He's a weird alien, and Wario is exploiting him. Definitely Wario is exploiting him.
Yeah.
And his ignorance.
The Noodle
Cup. Pour hot water into the tubular conduits. You will make what is called noodles. It's one of those lottery thingies with the things that are lines between the 4 things. You trace up from the ramen cup, the noodle cup, to find which pipe you need to pour the water in. The water will always go horizontally when it meets one of the horizontal pipes.
Right.
So you look at where the noodle cup is, you trace up along the path backwards to see what the top pipe you need to hit is. The difficulty levels determine how many horizontal things there are, how many cross bars there are. So it gets more complicated as the difficulty level goes up. It's harder to just like quickly see. Otherwise, it's very simple.
I remember this one from Mega Man X.
I remember this one from Mario Party.
Oh.
It was a bad one in that. Anyway, Orbulon, his personality is still terrible.
Yeah.
He claims to have an IQ of 300, which...
So, that's not how IQ works.
It's not. It is not. Like, that would... There's no IQ test that would produce that result.
Yeah.
So, he's just making shit up with that. I think Orbulon just, like, has it in his head that, oh, this primitive species, they must all be, you know, less intelligent than me, the alien, who has a UFO and space technologies.
I mean, he's probably basing his understanding on all humans based on, 1, the existence of IQ tests, and 2, interactions with Wario.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely assumed that Wario is the standard for human intelligence, and Wario's not even human, so that just goes completely wrong. But yeah, he is just generally an asshole, and I don't like him.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else there is to say about Orbulon.
Though, is this...
Well, new game.